There's a moving sense of finality about David Attenborough's latest documentary, where he recounts his witness statement. We are taken on a journey through the eyes of the 94-year-old naturalist, where he educates on how quickly and dangerously the planet has changed over his lifetime. Welcome back to Documentary Recap. In today's video, we'll be going through an American nature documentary film where the narrator shares his first-hand concerns about the terrible impact of humans in nature, titled David Attenborough A Life on Our Planet from the year 2020. The documentary begins with its titular subject standing in the deserted territory around the Chernobyl nuclear plant in Ukraine, a once buzzing area that was evacuated in 1986 when human error rendered it inhabitable. Attenborough recounts that though the catastrophe had an impact across Europe, the true tragedy of our times is still unfolding, although it's barely noticeable from day to day. He adds a chilling thought that we're witnessing a loss of biodiversity. Using archive footage of his work, which includes stunningly beautiful nature photography, he describes the damage that human beings have inflicted over the last 94 years. Calling the film his witness statement for the environment, Attenborough traces his 60-year-plus career as a naturalist and maps how steeply the planet's biodiversity has degenerated before his very eyes. When he began his work, global air travel was new, and we see footage of him as a young explorer who encountered exotic flora and fauna. To illustrate the emptying of oceans, the documentary intercuts thriving coral habitats with images of bleached white dead corals and large gutted fish that have been frozen and stacked for the market, a glimpse into the havoc wreaked by overfishing. Next, we see the shots of lush rainforests that are alive and vibrant birds and butterflies that are abruptly punctuated by chainsaws cutting down the trees. These cinematic juxtapositions and Attenborough's grim yet crisp narrative are persuasive. A dying plant is an ugly one, whereas healthy ecosystems please your eyes and Mother Earth. Every few minutes, a table is shown depicting the world population, carbon content in the atmosphere, and the percentage of wilderness on Earth, starting from 1926, when Attenborough was born, to 2020. Next, he narrates what is perhaps the most upsetting part of the documentary, the story of the destruction of the rainforests of Borneo to replace them with rows of palm trees for palm oil profits. By doing so, humans destroy the habitat of orangutans. Orangutan mothers spend nearly a decade with their young, teaching them the fruits that are worth eating. Without this training, Attenborough states they will not be able to complete their role in dispersing seeds, putting the future generation of several trees at risk. He also notes that while nature takes time and energy to craft itself, humans have single-handedly led to its collapse. He adds that if things continue to change at the current rate, the world will be almost 4 degrees warmer by 2100, giving way to the 6th mass extinction. This devastating sequence is a wake-up call, not just for individuals, but for policymakers and governments across the globe. It's also a jarring statement for climate change deniers. Attenborough charts the disasters we might inevitably face in the future decades, a global crisis that he as an adult in this 90s will not experience. In the last half hour of the documentary, Attenborough tries to shine a ray of hope by extrapolating small successes. This sequence is an outliner for what can be done to reduce our carbon footprints, how we can be sustainable, and a powerful reminder that nature will take care of us if we take care of it. He recounts how sustainable farming in the Netherlands has helped the country flourish as one of the leading food exporters in the world. The fishing restrictions around the Pacific archipelago nation of Palau are lauded for the enabled marine life to rebound. The film's grand achievement in the sequence is that it positions its subject, David Attenborough, as a mediator between humans and the natural world. A spine-tingling point is drawn home. Life cycles on, and if we make all the right choices, ruin can be transformed into regrowth. At this point, a gratifying full circle is made by the directors, who zoom out from this shattered building near the Chernobyl plant. From the beginning of the documentary, nature and wildlife have slowly started to reclaim the city, where more than 50,000 people once lived. This image shows us that while there's no silver bullet to solve the crisis, there is hope that nature will surely heal and restore itself if we give her the urgent attention it needs. What did you think of this documentary? Comment your thoughts below.